Good morning, it's a Monday morning and this is another video in the series of how did you make that video. So the one that we're talking about is quite a topical one in that it's recent, and the title on this school bus yellow document I've got is, in terms of video making, what can we learn from the July 2018 Creator Letter 5 Priorities Update, which was made by Susan Wojcicki. Now, if we have a look at that, and what I'm going to get into is the creator blog on YouTube was a mid-year update on the 5 creator priorities, and if we have a look at the text, there is a load of it. There is no pictures on there as such. What there is a brand new video which is embedded, which is the focus of how did we make that video. So the video as now sits like that on YouTube on Susan's own channel, which is the first one. And I'm going to try and get this right. Susan Wojcicki, I believe, is how you say her last name, and there is a video on YouTube of how to say that as well. So getting stuck in, and this is the point of me using School Bus Yellow and this whole rebranding, shall we say, relooking of my channel, which is actually something along the lines of a school bus which is come, visit and learn at the Mike Downs page. It's appropriate for me also in that when I wrote about the Mike Downs page, I've put a few graphics and a ton of writing here, which is quite a lot. So how do you actually get that into a watchable video? And that's what we're talking about here. So we can see there are two things. The blog post, which is this one here, which I've just spoken about, is actually sitting at 1,432 written words. The video, which I've just showed you, which is the spoken word version, if you like, with graphics, sits at 697 spoken words, which is about 49% of the written version. This is really important if you actually want to get a message out in multiple forms. In other words, by writing, by slides or images, and also a video, of course, as well as a podcast. Now, let's be honest, Susan could have sat there with her team and recorded all 1,432 words on a podcast. This text you're looking at, by the way, is the transcription of the spoken version. So the point of this, in terms of education and learning, which is so important because this is priority number 5 on the blog post, is a matter of going in to say, how can you almost craft that into a level? What you're seeing on screen is figure skating images. So in other words, if a figure skater goes out and starts to do an ice dance, they will probably be marked later. So they've got music, they've got movements, they've got jumps, they've got twists, all those things that I don't know about. But what you actually get is this incredible way of looking, shall we say, in this example on the ice, of how you can come in and take this clean ice and make something really useful and watchable. If you've ever done ice skating, when you go out there and literally cut the ice for the first time, it's the most incredible thing. And that's what I'm getting at here, is because if we go in to say that we have made a video, or Susan's and her team made a video of 697 spoken words, how do we actually illustrate that? How was it done? So what you'll see in a moment with Vegas Movie Studio is more or less about 23 slides which build at about 12 seconds per slide. That's how they've chosen to do it. So let's go over to Movie Studio, and we can see that my timeline, and again I repeat that the reason I'm breaking this down is to help people learn what constitutes video making. In terms of my simplistic view, talking about figure skating, is that the ice dancer goes out and will perform for a couple of minutes and come back off and get marked and maybe win a gold medal at the Olympics. You know, we're not winning medals here for this video, but you do get an ease of how much it's seen, looked at, shared, commented on. So in other words, what happens is that it is, and this is purely my own part of it, my own analysis, if you will. So when it starts off, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the sound of the desktop audio off, is that you'll see, my tip is go and watch it if you haven't seen it or know what we're talking about. So as you play, what you'll find, let me just bring that down there. Right, here we go. So we play it, and it starts like this. You might be able to hear a tiny bit. Right, so hi everyone, we're doing a video version to accompany it. Now, the thing is, breaking this down, and what I suggest you do, and that is, I'm going to go frame by frame. So it starts off with a white slide, and then you'll see, when we come in, still going, hi everyone. Can you notice that bottom left of the screen, where we've got the, let me just make this smaller a bit. When I say smaller, I mean the audio file. Watch as I go by frame. Let's bring it, yeah, frame by frame. White. The moment the speaker says hi, there is a hi on screen. As it's spoken, it builds. It doesn't build as a flowing sequence, it builds as a frame by frame. Can you see hi everyone? And then it starts to build the images, and this is really quite therapeutic to play around with this, quite honestly. So it goes in, and I'm just playing it through here. Hi everyone, spoken word, and then there is a big change. Can you notice the difference? And that is at the time where the actual music comes in as well. So we go from black and white into colour at that precise moment, I believe. Or is that not true? Let's listen back a second. When I say about, we've got white on screen with an arty animation, we've got a spoken word, and then we actually get some music.
As I laid out in my first quarterly letter, my 5 priorities
There we
for
go.
2018 are more transparency and communication, supporting your success.
Right, so what happens here, let me just stop it a second, is we go in and the music starts, look, after middle screen left 25 seconds, we go into 26 seconds, we go into 26, 27 seconds, and then the music starts. Just play this a bit.
Tightening our policies and learning and education.
Gap.
Before I give you an update on each one,
Yeah, and there is music in there. So I suggest you go away, have a look at this if you're interested to see how you would actually do this yourself. What we have got is a build. I could go through the whole lot and see and show how these actually build up. Let's take a random version. Here is a t-shirt building, and you can see it's about merch. Now, there is one tiny bit there that if you've got your eyes open you might actually see, and that is that we go building into this chap playing the guitar, and then you watch this very carefully, because you'll notice on my marker mid-screen orange, error outline. So watch this really carefully. We go in, because we can all learn from this. There is a straightforward build in a black line on white screen. It builds the foot, then it goes in, and we notice that there is, and I would say this is a tiny error, not a huge, problematic error, but we've definitely got an outline, and then that outline of the image just moves it a tiny bit. I suspect that that is to slip through the net, that outline shouldn't actually be showing. But hey, that's life. If you are a graphic person, and I guess that they're using a tablet with a stylus, like a digital pen, and you're either recording your screen or taking screenshots every so often, then that is how it's played through, and then you can see the slide builds. That's quite a nice one as well. If you go back, what are we? We're about 9 minutes. I'm definitely not going over more than 10 minutes for this video. The point of it is, let's go back and say, what were we trying to achieve in this video? And that was, how can we all learn together and take something that is written, in this case a 1432 word blog post, translate it into half of the words, and then put something on screen that is quite watchable. I would say this is a total success on video number 1. Who am I? I'm a super small person, but then again I've made 955 public videos. You could argue 955 public mistakes on my YouTube channel, but that is the blog post. That is the video. Go watch it. I'm sure it's got more than 9,000. Let's refresh that in just a couple of seconds to see how many views for this video has been seen. Let's just see, shall we?
As I laid out in my first quarterly letter, my 5 priorities for 2018 are more transparency and communication.
10,000 views, that'll do. Right, okay, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Giving